Hey everyone, so what is the latest on Tesla FSD, full self-driving? It's been about 3 months since Tesla released their beta version to a number of users, and I just spent a lot of time watching the most recent videos. I stitched together a number of what I think are very cool successes and some, well, failures. FSD still has a ways to go, but the progress it has made so far has been amazing. These failures are not nearly as bad as they were 3 months ago, and the successes are very cool. What I think I was most surprised of is its ability to drive on an entirely snow-covered road and how it creeps into the intersections for a better view before making a move, just like you would. These clips are based on the latest FSD Beta version 8.1, which is based on 2020.48.35.6 or .7, and are only available to a small group of Tesla owners. By the way, version 10.1 of the beta is not a later version than 8.1. They actually renumbered 10.1 to 8.1, some numbering snafu. I tried to organize and label these clips into fails, uncomfortable, too fast, creeping, success, and finally a section I called, What do you think? Because, well, these get very subjective. For example, you may or may not think it's okay for a person to drive like this, but then you would agree that this is probably what an AI should be doing. It's not really that simple sometimes. Please let me know what you think below. Also, I have a link to all of the sources for these videos. Please check them out for some more in-depth reporting on FSD Beta. These guys really do a great job. And if you like these videos, please like and subscribe. Thank you.
All right, you can proceed. All right, there's a detour to road closed that is against the route. So let's see what happens here. It wants to go proceeded straight. I've got a road closed. Come on, come on, come on, come on, stop, stop. Okay, all right. Yeah, I let that go a little bit longer than my wife would have been comfortable with. There was nobody behind me, but it did not like that. So I'm doing a little bit of a U-turn here, detour, manually detouring around. That's the other thing I didn't talk about in the report section is I communicate, well, I'll just make that, whoa, what the heck? Okay, we're going this way. Okay, it got, yeah, whenever it slips, it freaks out. That's cool. All right, we didn't go in a circle that time.
Okay, what about this stop? Nope, that wasn't good. We needed to slow down here. I'm not sure why we didn't. I disengaged, so that information will go to Tesla. But yeah, that stop was missed.
Oh my gosh, we are rolling these like crazy. That is just ridiculous. I'm not sure that's getting reported by me. I personally, everybody's different. I personally am okay with maybe a 2-mile-per-hour roll. But going through a stop sign at 7 miles an hour is just kind of blowing it, in my opinion. Okay, so this is a real tight spot with lots of snow. I'm going to slow down again. And it looks like, oh, we actually have to turn left here. And we are doing just that. We got somebody walking to our left here. Wow, this is weird. I've never done this personally. And boom, right for that snowbank. So I had to take over there and prevent that because it was going to go right for that snowbank. Not too far away, but these tight turns are going to have to continue. So stopping for the stop sign, we need to creep out and make sure there's nobody coming. Looks pretty good. See right there? Too close to the... Yeah, okay, I'm driving. Too close to that mound, and then we slid, and the system kind of gave up once we had that slide. A truck behind me that is going the right way, so I couldn't correct right there, that truck right there. Okay, so now the car is lost. All right. Okay. I'll have to look back and see if that's a mapping error. Just for the visualization, it needed to be over in this lane. And now you can see it's projecting a right turn here. There's a sign right here. It says no right turn. So it knows to stay in this lane. So really good. See how it handles. The double left turn lanes are a little sketchy sometimes. Normally they're pretty good. Yeah, so it was a little too far. Whoa, okay, that wasn't good. Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes it's just, and that's of course the guy that was honking at me. It's goes a little too far to the left as it's doing those double left turn lanes. So Again, that's why we keep our hands on the wheel, but big disengagement there.
Oh, a bit too soon. Okay, I'm gonna take over here. It's the car wanted to go, like the car wanted to proceed, but the other car was still in that crossing and it was making a left turn. So I would wanted the car to wait a little bit longer before proceeding, so I had to take over. It would have cleared it. I mean, I had the feeling that we could have been fine, but I wanted to be safe and take over there.
So the basics start as there's a little, whoa, what the heck is that? like, okay, there's a bug report, so I'm gonna click that.
Stop, there was nobody, so it was pretty quick. Okay, it moved over on the left, not sure why. I will be reporting that. Okay, gonna report that. Oops, here we go. Okay, we're going straight. There's a car coming straight. Yeah, move over, good. Car is moving over. I'm gonna reduce the speed a little bit. Okay, we're going. No, yes, we are. It was our turn, sir. Oh, ma'am. Sir, actually. Okay, so we did the turn and then we went directly onto the opposite lane. We shouldn't be doing that.
Autopilot creeps forward for visibility, maybe a bit too far, and spots a car to the right, which makes it stop dead in the tracks. Traffic continues coming from the right, so I did disengage here and back up after the pedestrian behind me cleared the path to let traffic from my left through. Although Autopilot isn't currently capable of backing up right now, I do think it's something that it will need to learn. It's okay to make mistakes as long as you have an escape plan, which currently Autopilot is lacking.
Move over. You got a left turn here. You gonna do it? Yeah, see, it's gonna miss this left turn. What the heck? Let's see what it tries to do. Yeah, like, no good. No good.
Okay. Making a right here. Oh, this is awesome. Look at that. Really, really cool. Okay, don't know what that was. I think it was getting confused by the lines.
Cop is gone, so I can, keep pushing it harder now. And now it will continue. Oh, stopping for crosswalk. That was not good. So you can't stop for a crosswalk in the middle of an intersection when there's nobody in the crosswalk. But I guess better to be cautious there.
But it definitely seems to, okay, stop. There is no stop sign here. I'm pressing the accelerator again because there's a car behind me. So that may be bad map data. I'm gonna go ahead.
System is, we have speed bumps here. I wonder, speed humps. I wonder if it will see them with the snow. So in different parts of the world, the system already behaves differently. So I think that's a total non-issue. Maybe, yeah, so it did not slow down for that. Let's speed up a little bit. Usually it slows down to 16, so we'll see if it'll slow down. That would be cool confirmation that it actually sees them and it isn't just map data. But anyway, I think that's really, really a non-issue of the different localities because boom, right over that speed bump. So the cameras are seeing speed bumps. That's crazy. I assumed it was map data, to be totally honest, which would be a little disappointing, but it's not, and it's flying right over those. Whereas before, it would slow down in this on the same street. There it is. It would slow down to about 16 miles an hour for me or so. So anyway.
So as we're approaching the truck, Autopilot starts making its move to go around, but then sees a car coming down the opposite way and makes a good decision to not pass at this time and instead decides to wait. It also folded the mirrors, which I always find hilarious. It then has some trouble planning a path around the truck, gets a little bit too close for comfort, and so I did disengage. The crazy thing about this one, though, and this seems to happen really frequently, is that as you can see from the projected path, Autopilot was planning the correct path around the truck and then plans a different path that is much closer. It's possible it would have completed the maneuver successfully, but I would have rather it went through its original projected path. I think Autopilot is just lacking a bit of confidence.
And so I don't always need to hit the button. Okay, we're stopping or slowing there for no reason. So that's another time I would hit the button. I didn't interact with the car at all, so nothing would be recorded, but I want to say that brake was wrong. There was no reason to brake there.
What you're about to see, though, is a situation that autopilot could not handle. We have to turn left to get out of here. It is a 2-lane street, but there's so many cars parked on the right-hand side that there's literally only room for one car to go down this street at a time. So autopilot does wait for this car, which was good. It makes the left turn and then gets stuck. There was no way to complete this successfully until we see something like Smart Summon and Autopilot be combined, where Autopilot can start going in reverse. I don't think this is a situation that we're going to see being successful anytime soon.
And now it's struggling. There we go. So this is a really tight spot. You can see, so it's kind of waiting for them, moving over. They're doing their best as well. So wow, very tight space. But the car did handle it for both of those. Really impressive. It's difficult even for, you know, people to navigate when the spaces are that tight. So now we have this. Is this stopped or is it slightly moving? Yeah, it seems like it's stopped. So the car should go around it and it's just going to stop behind it. So I'm gonna take over there because that's not very safe. I mean, nobody's behind me, but I don't want to just be stopped in the road like that, especially when people are already going so fast. See what the car wants to do here. It's not clear behind me. It's staying straight. Okay, now it wants to go around and it's not really clear. Let me see. Okay, now it's clear if it wants to go, but the cars that are coming from behind me are going much faster. It looks like the car is resolved. This is staying here. This is a good one. It's got flashers. Interesting. This is the first time this has happened to me. Okay, now it's got the blinker on. That's great. See, but okay, it's wide open behind me now. Ooh, it's starting to think about it. Did you see that little flicker? Is it gonna do it? I got the time to wait here. There's nobody right behind me, so I'm just gonna sit here. I think it's glitching. Every once in a while, it looks for a solution here. The wheel's turning a little bit. I don't know if you can see that representation there. Is it gonna do it? Wheel's still turning a smidge, but it can't commit to wanting to go around. I don't know why this bus is standing here so long. Okay, just for the purpose of the solution, I'm gonna tap the accelerator just a smidge. I did again. There's a little bit of an accelerator. Okay, I'll just go around. Well, it got stuck behind a bus. This is a one-way road, so we have to turn left here. Very cautiously moving out. There is a car coming from the right. And yeah, the Tesla was moving forward, and that person, you know, it got close enough. I could tell, I mean, I didn't think it was going to move forward, but that person honked because they were thinking I was going to drive in front of them. I didn't think so. That's why I hadn't hit the brake yet, but I stopped so that I would not freak them out. Okay, interesting. One of these crosswalk signs is fallen over. Let's see if it goes around it. Okay, it did not go around it, so I had to intervene there just at the last second.
I don't necessarily think that was a wrong time to go, but if it's going to make moves like that, it has to do them faster. It needs to have a little bit of a sense of urgency getting through intersections like this. So that was a disengagement, so I didn't make that guy slam on the brakes for me.
Should be going. There's no reason to stop here. It says checking for visibility. We're confusing a little bit too much the car in front of us. Yes, we are. Just because we're a bit too slow. Again, very safe, but not very comfortable, I'd say. Okay, we do not have a stop. We should be going. We should be going. Okay, we're slowing down the car behind us, so that's fine. Again, I will report these just so Tesla has it. There's a car backing up. No. Okay, I guess I would have preferred to stop. A little bit of curiousness here. It's stopping. Okay, there's a car behind me. I had to hit the accelerator there.
All right, some pedestrians crossing the road. It needs to stop. Okay, I had to hit that. The one woman was waiting, and that was not what I would like to do as a respectful driver of pedestrians. He had already crossed and she was waiting, and the car was still kind of going a little bit too fast there. Okay, blinkers on. There are cars behind me. Let's see if it goes for it. Yep, okay, there's a car here. It's gonna have to go around carefully. Okay, that was a little close to that sign. It might have made it. It was a little close for my comfort.
Arrow, there is a pedestrian. There is a pedestrian. Yeah, good. Wait. Okay. Not the best place to wait. We're literally on the opposite lane. I wish we waited a bit earlier, but I will report that. I'm just waiting for us to cross here. Good.
Here's another tough one, where someone is backing up into traffic with absolutely no consideration to the cars around him in true San Francisco fashion. You can see the exact moment I disengaged was the moment autopilot was going to control for it, which you can see in the visualization by it highlighting it in green and then purple, which signifies a merging vehicle. So I'm sure it would have slammed on the brakes as well. I just didn't feel comfortable letting it get any closer to that truck with what he was doing.
Let's see. Very good. Wow, cool. A little close to that minivan in my opinion, but it did a good job. I'll let the car keep going with this too, so 4.9. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that one. And oh boy, all right. the car hit its brakes, and they should have, I don't know, if they would have sped up, it would have been good. The car should have probably just went, but it was merging for them. And I think I'm gonna take over driving now. So
this is a school zone flashing yellow. Okay, this is good. I've been wanting to see if it was going to slow down to 15 under that flashing yellow, and it did not. So I'm gonna have to manually slow down here because it's a school zone. All right, and there's the end school zone, so I can re-engage. So that was a good example. That flashing yellow was designated 15 miles an hour when flashing, and it wasn't directly honoring that.
To avoid this parked car, and it does a really nice job with that. Another really tight street. Snow is kind of making this worse, and again, I'm going to slow down a bit. So hopefully the car will eventually be able to know, you know what, this is a little too fast. But for now, I'm reducing the speed, although the car, again, it doesn't really take snow into account yet, but the car will slow itself down at times where it thinks it needs to be a bit slower. These builds have been better in terms of turning, so I'm just going to slow down a little bit here. Makes me a little more comfortable. I think this is a more appropriate speed for the conditions. These people are still stuck with their cars in the snow, but the car's handling this okay. Even though there's a bunch of snow in the way, it is staying away from that and staying on the paved road.
Speed limit was 10 there, and then it switched to 25, and then now it's 15. Is it gonna? Oh, okay, a little fast, It didn't see any of the stops. It didn't see any of the speed limits there.
So we have a stop sign here, and there's a car coming from the left. That was a little scary for me, but it did stop for them. And now we're stopped again, waiting for this person to turn left. And the car's gonna go. We do have somebody coming from the left, but we did have time. So that was pretty good. I had my foot on the accelerator ready to push it a little bit more, but it ended up doing okay.
Next to me, and it tried to make the turn from the right side. Okay, got a car here that is proceeding. And it stopped, and it's creeping, and it's doing a nice right on red. I'd say that was a good one.
And then right turn here, and hopefully, again, it won't cut it too close with the snow in the way. I think it's clear after that, but there are a bunch of parked cars over to the left, so I really can't see myself. I think I'm just gonna let it go. I'm not gonna touch the accelerator, and it's off. So really good there, a little slow, but it was hard to see, so the car was really taking its time.
Autopilot gets off to a great start on the first attempt, very confident, and it even starts moving forward before the car coming from the left clears the path, which is awesome, but you'll see in later clips a bit inconsistent.
So creeping, checking for visibility. This is also way improved in my opinion. the amount that it moves while creeping is reduced and the speeds are reduced. So it does seem more natural, like you're moving forward to get a better look, not like you're gonna go and drive in front of somebody if they're coming, which is kind of how it felt before.
So we do have trucks on the left-hand side. The left camera should be blocked, so it's creeping forward a little bit. And now it's clear. It should be able to see there's no cars on the left, no cars on the right, and we can proceed. That's pretty good. That's I like the speed of how it's creeping. It's creeping slowly, but not going too much into the oncoming traffic.
See what we get today. It's a little Monday morning, kind of more rush hour traffic. It's 7:20 here in the morning. So these are most likely commuters here. I'm going to try to show you my left side. Okay, it needs to stop, and it did. That car tapped his brakes. Okay, now there's a nice clear gap. But that was a pretty good creep. I wasn't in the road too much. It's getting better. That was a right turn, not a left, so it didn't have to get over into that median.
Autopilot's making me out to be a liar right now by creeping forward as cars are going by. So I really don't know, like, that's what I'm saying with the inconsistency. I don't know the reasons it does what it does. Sometimes it behaves like super crazy well, and other times it behaves like a computer. Autopilot does take the right of way, even with the truck approaching from the left in the right-hand lane. So
All right, last car. Let's see how quickly the Tesla will proceed once they pass. Boom, look at that. Oh, it's so much better than it was. Love it. I love it. I love it. Obviously not done, whatever. It's not doing that every time, but it never would have done that in previous versions. Never, never, never. Without like a green arrow. Okay, so now it's way better.
Good. We have pedestrian walking on the side of the road. Let's see if the car, yep, the car predicts to go over. It's running over the middle lane. That's good. We want that. We want to give plenty of space for the ped.
We have some people here on the side of the road. Slow down a little bit just to be safe. Yeah, very good, very good. So people are displayed, truck is displayed. Green, we immediately begin to go, and you can see right there, no accelerator, no anything, and the car very confidently moves through. Before, it would only do that on left turns with a green arrow, not a green light where you could have cross traffic. So really impressive, and I'm really enjoying that.
There's a kind of a large puddle you'll see here. Well, it went around it a little bit.
So now is a good time to go, except there's a person crossing the street. I think I'm gonna have to, no, I did not touch the accelerator, and it's going a little weird, but hey, 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 that was very impressive. I was just about to hit the accelerator. I was like, okay, this thing's not doing anything. And right when that person finished crossing the street, it did continue. Now
the next short clip is a great representation of what San Francisco driving is like, and also why it's so difficult for the beta. You can see cars going through the crosswalk even though pedestrians have the right of way. Very impolite in other cities, but a regular occurrence here in San Francisco. It's actually expected. You can hear a driver honking at me from behind because it wasn't willing enough to go through this crosswalk. When it finally does start to move, a pedestrian almost steps into the crosswalk. This is an extremely tough situation, even for a human, but I think Autopilot did handle it beautifully. Let's go ahead and watch this back in slow motion. So you can see the pedestrian never actually steps off of the crosswalk, and even though there's another car to the left, Autopilot swerves left to avoid the pedestrian. She was not supposed to be entering the crosswalk at this time. The light was flashing, don't cross, but stuff like this happens all the time in San Francisco, and it is nice to see Autopilot handle it so well.
so this is, whoa, this is a really sharp right turn. Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. Okay, we're doing it very slowly. Wow, that was weird. Okay, I've never taken that right turn myself. And then we have a left right out. That was pretty cool. So a little goofy and slow, but really not too bad.
Like a right turn like this might be easy for humans, debatably, but you have to think about how this looks for a computer. Look how many lines are on the road and crosswalks and this and that. I think Autopilot's getting better and better in every update, handling these oddly painted roads. It doesn't do too well with green yet. There's a lot of green bike lanes in Fremont. It can't do those, but every update it's able to handle things like this better and better.
Got a flashing kind of a warning sign here that says, be careful, don't go too fast. That's a 15-mile-an-hour flasher. And then here's the flashing yellow with the turn here, and it's slowing down. What, we got all the way down to, yeah, it went all the way down to 17. Nice speed for that. It used to have a lot of problems with that turn. It's done much, much better. We got another pedestrian crossing the street with a dog, not in a crosswalk. Just slow down a little bit late. They were clear of the road before I needed to do too much, but you saw the visualization. It looked like it knocked a couple miles an hour off.
Disengagements is the speed control in places like this where there's a lot of pedestrians around. It does a great job modulating the speed and is driving appropriately for the conditions. This has definitely improved since earlier versions where autopilot would try to get to the set speed unless there was something in the way. It also seems to do an excellent job at knowing when to pass stationary vehicles versus stopping behind them.
Right into those. So that can be kind of annoying. It doesn't cause too much of a problem though. So taking this left here, really, really nice. Unprotected left. The car could see there were no other cars and just went right through it, which was great. It's been a little hesitant with those earlier, but the latest builds have been better in terms of turn. Really tight space up here again. Oh boy. Whew. Wow, car's doing really good though, even though it is, I mean, even if somebody else was driving, it'd be a little stressful if I'm not the one in control. So green light here. We're gonna wait for this person to finish crossing the street, and then we can continue through the green. And wow, really tough, but look at that. This is great. Oh my gosh. Such a good job on these tight. So I don't normally have such tight things that I'm trying to deal with. And that's our destination. So wow, very, very impressive. Because, oh, there's a person and their dog, which maybe they're on the display. You can see, well, it shows the person. We actually just saw green on Twitter showed there's going to be a little dog animation. So that's very cool. We have seen dogs displayed on the beta.
This is the type of stuff you have to deal with in San Francisco. If autopilot has nightmares, I'm sure this is the type of stuff they're made of. I think it handled it super, super, super well though. You can see it just basically just tries to stop dead in the tracks. Also tries to turn away from the guy who's coming directly at us, but sees what's happening, comes down to a complete stop. Like, I can't ask for anything better. I think this handled it perfectly. This is like the edge of edge cases, but I think it did very well.
So somebody's honking at me right now because I'm not going on red, but like I've said, you don't have to go on red. When it's red, it means stop. So if you want to wait, that's perfectly fine. So now the car's waiting for these pedestrians to cross. And the person's probably wondering why I'm not, creeping up. But here we go. And then the car, once the pedestrians leave the crosswalk, which is what you're supposed to do, the car proceeds. So very good. Even though this dude's going to be impatient, I mean, too bad it's a red light. You don't have to go judge, because one software update can change everything. But yeah, I would think by the end of the year it's going to be, I don't know if I can say level 4, but I'll say level 4. Let's just be bold. By the end of the year, we got level 4 and we'll have self-parking stuff. Now we're taking a left. Okay, that's new. Oh, have we been here? I think I've been here before. I think this has been in videos before. It has. Maybe it remembers places I've been. It's trying to guess where I want to go, taking me places I've been before. This is so silly. Okay, the next question, I have them written down here. Are my cameras dirty? That one people ask me a lot. So, yep, dirty Tesla. My car is always really dirty. Like today, I did nothing. So let's look. We can bring up the cameras. You probably can't see them. So yeah, it does look like this camera is a little dirty. Back camera is always dirty, so I'm not too worried about that. But I usually try to just clean them off with my thumb, just wipe it off really quick, and that's good enough. Most of the time, the cameras just don't get dirty. The repeater cameras, they're lower on the car, on the fenders, and those would be at the biggest risk of being dirty, and just honestly, most of the time, they are not dirty. Now that I saw that, part of me wants to pull over and wipe it off, but you can see the car's actually doing fine. This moving to the right thing is just something on this version. It always wants to be to the right. But I may pull over up here and just wipe that camera off really quick. But, despite that, it made a left turn. It's been doing all of this and not having a problem. The only time it errored out is when it slipped. And when the wheels slip, it does error out like that. So, yeah, no, my cameras are normally pretty clean. And I try to check on them and keep them clean for the video. here. Let's see, come on, pass him. Nah, you're messing up. See, if it would have aggressively passed, we would have been good. Oh, now it's going to. Oh, yeah, too close, too close. I'm sorry, I'm not as brave as some of the other testers. Oh, I just couldn't handle it.
All right, a little flashing light for pedestrian crossing. It's definitely slowing down here. That's great. Well, it's stopped and it proceeded. Okay, well, I'm not going to complain about that. It did not need to do that. It was just a flashing yellow. All right, interesting. I've got a pedestrian here crossing the road. Come on, slow down, slow down, slow down. Okay, it did finally slow down for him, kind of aggressively, but it did. Another pedestrian in that crosswalk. But this is an interesting one. This is stop for pedestrians within crosswalk. So it should have treated that as a stop sign with that pedestrian. It looked like it was just avoiding the pedestrian in a normal way without acknowledging that there was a crosswalk there that turns into a stop sign when there are pedestrians.
So I don't really have an issue with this, but one interesting thing is, typically if I was driving, I would try to get through that corner and then make the right. FSD Beta will not do that. They will not even go over this dotted or dashed line right here. It goes around. So it will be interesting as, you know, let's say I'm moving even right now and a car's coming by, they want to make a right, you know, with the little space there. You know, it's gonna have to learn how to deal with that. I haven't had any situations where I've had to deal with it, but that's just one of those things.
Show you specifically in this clip though is its handling of pedestrians on scooters. Autopilot does not take any risks trying to pass and instead plays it safe by following them at a distance. Other drivers in San Francisco will be pretty upset with this behavior, but I think this is exactly how a self-driving car should drive through situations like this. Keep in mind, this is not a self-driving car. I am in control of the vehicle 100% of the time. My hands are on the steering wheel, ready to take over in case anything crazy happens. Also, a little bit later in this clip, I'm really not sure if this was a fluke, but you can see Autopilot actually stop dead in the tracks when this emergency vehicle comes by, and it actually says it stopped waiting at a traffic control. So this might be the first indication something like this was built in, but also might be a fluke.